but she's an incredible MC. Has one of the best, probably one of the top 5 Tiny Desk performances that I've personally seen, in my opinion. I love her. She gets down lyrically. She's dope creative. But she got into some conversation with had some conversations with some people on Twitter about, women in hip hop. And one of the comments that got it started was, women aren't allowed to be mediocre, not in rap. They have to be a freaking monster just to even get a chance. Her response was, exactly. We can't slack because we're already at a disadvantage since hip hop is male dominated. Meanwhile, Blueface literally farts on the mic each and every time and can exist in the genre with no problem. Show me the female him with the equal amount of success. She also talked about, let's see, I had a couple quotes pulled up. It says, where's that other one? Yeah, here it is. So someone typed, I love this rap talk. From the commercial field, a lot of women rappers are better than men. There's no way you telling me Young Boy will have a better verse than Meg or Doja. I scratch my head, however, if someone say that Meg will eat someone like Conway track, I guess that's different. And she says, period. And I love seeing black people thrive regardless. 80% of male rappers who are successful can't hold a match to the women's bars. So a lot of comments in here that I thought the Blueface one is hilarious to me, and I think it's 100% accurate from what she said, because I'm trying to get away from trash. He's not that good at his craft. In my opinion, he's not that good at his craft.
I think a lot of people have said that time and time again. So I'm just saying, I don't know about that argument.
For what she's saying, though, I think she has a valid point. But how do y'all feel about that, man, in terms of the comments that I read and the disadvantage that she says, women have coming into it off top before they can even get into the door because of how male dominated the game is? Jay Moore, I'll come to you first. Think she has a point?
At one point, I definitely would have said that she had a point, because it's like, okay, there was that long space of time where it was Nicki and nobody else. But right now, especially as someone who's in the clubs, women dominate as far as like what gets played. Okay. And I thought the thing that she said about Blueface was funny, but at the same time, Blueface has 𝗀𝗲𝗄, and that's it. I remember where it was one Saturday night, a new Blueface record came out, and Lockstar was like, all right, it's early, let's give it a chance. Shout out to my man DJ Lockstar. And played that shit, and we couldn't even get through the whole record. It was terrible. And that's really the last time we played anything. And the reason we played 𝗀𝗲𝗄 is because the remix with Cardi on it.
That was a big record.
So honestly, if you're really trying to have a record, that gets played, if you get like a lot of DJs now is like, oh, if they see, the City Girls are on it, Meg is on it, okay, that's going to be a big. As far as as far as commercial club. Right now, this is the most balanced I've ever seen it. And this is coming from somebody who's been out here, and I've like I said, for a long time it was Nicki and nobody else, and now there's Nicki, Doja Cat, City Girls, Sweetie, Miss Mulatto or Big Lotto or whatever she changed the name to. Like, there are so many women who are getting an opportunity now. I think it's harder for women just because the level of like. Think about just when you go out on a date. I can throw on a sweater, a pair of jeans, and a pair of shoes, my coat, and some deodorant. I'm ready to go. When you take your lady out, she's got to go through all sorts of stuff to get ready to go out and quote unquote be presentable to the world. It's a whole different level of going into the presentation. It's always going to be harder for female entertainers to make themselves presentable and not be talked about, especially in this social media era. But even for the quote unquote more lyrical, I heard Rhapsody, her one of her records is being used as the promo for the new Queen Latifah show, The Equalizer, that's on CBS. So I heard that song, and it was premiered right after the Super Bowl. So I heard Rhapsody about 50 times over the weekend. So I'm loving that. I'm just saying, women, this is the most equal, like, and the thing is, I'm not going to say the most equal footing ever, because, you know, early 90s, you had plenty of women who were in hip hop and thriving, you know, whether it be, you know, the commercial groups like Oaktown 357, Assault and Pepper, or somebody who's down with the native tongues like Queen Latifah, who I just mentioned, or Moni Love, you know.
Moni Love.
It's the most balanced I've seen it in a long, long time. I think there are disadvantages to the marketing, because yes, this is a male dominated era, and like men are going to try to present what they want to see and what they want to hear. Yeah, but I think women are really pushing back and doing the records they want to do. You know, and women are supporting these women for the first time in a long time.
That right there is that's a good point. That's a lot of times
the problem is women don't support female artists. And so now I really see women supporting female artists. Like women, a lot of times you didn't hear female artists in the club because women didn't request them. And so now women actually like, hey, I'm riding for this person, so we're going to go.
Hold that thought. Jay Diff, jump in. What do you think about it too? I want to make sure we get to you as well. Just about her comments and just, you know, the landscape.
Excuse me. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's a disadvantage. I agree with Jay more on that. There's not a disadvantage in my personal opinion. Maybe the type of artist that she's speaking of, maybe an artist like Chika, because she's a different type of artist, and she's dope, by the way.
Extremely
you don't
dope.
hear a lot of her style, you know what I'm saying, being represented. But again, that goes back to what the majority of people want to hear. And she's talking about mediocrity when a lot of the most popular female artists, city girls, are very mediocre in my personal opinion. I mean, they have hot tracks, you know what I'm saying? They definitely are able to tap into that club and get everybody hype or whatnot. But I mean, lyrically, are we really considering them setting the bar per se for women lyricists? Right. You know, I don't agree that there's more women spitters than men. I don't believe that. There are some very good, talented women out there that are spitting and are able to sing and cross over and eat on both ends of the plane. But I think her comment is a little too late, especially for her to be new in the game. And she's making strides, you know. If you know about
definitely
her,
making strides.
She could definitely check her project out. She was actually in was it a movie? She was in a movie. I think that movie with Jamie Foxx as well.
She's been in movies. She's been in multiple ads, like for big companies, like, you know, clothing. Like she's been all over the place, man. Like a lot of people don't know about her, but she out there.
So she's making noise. Yeah. And she's making noise, but I just don't think she's making a point right now by saying that women are in a disadvantage because, like Jay said earlier, I mean, they're pretty much dominating on the radio. Cardi B just dropped a song. Anytime Cardi B drops a song, she can announce it at the beginning of the week, and the world will stop on the internet until she drops a song, and then they'll talk about it all day, and then it'll get played forever and ever and ever. So, I mean, I honestly don't see where the disadvantage is.
Okay, jump in there, Long. What do you think about the comments I read and just the overall concept?
Yeah, I'm split on like my takes with what you're saying. I actually kind of disagree with you, Terry, a little bit. And Jay, I mean, I do feel like women are at a disadvantage in hip hop in general. I feel like it's just the women to men in society. I just feel like there's always more hurdles for a woman than there are for a man. So in that aspect, I disagree. But overall, the part that really kind of stuck out to me was when she said that there are more women spitters than men spitters. And she also said that we're not better. There's just more of us, densely packed spitters. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, I don't know, man. I can't think of like a whole ton of like women MCs. Like I can think of a lot of them, but I can't think of more women MCs that can spit better than some of the men. And that's not taking anything away from the women. It's just I see more men doing it. I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like there's way more men spitters. Like like, especially when we talk like some of the really top tier, like men spitters, you know, like I'm a really huge Royce fan. Like I don't know any woman that's on par with Royce, and I know some really, really dope women spitters. You know, there's some women that are definitely out there making, you know, when you talk about the Cirocs and the Rhapsodies, and
she's dope. Yep.
And we could just name all. I mean, again, Chika.
I mean, even Young Ma can spit a little bit, but
yeah, she can rap.
I just ain't her. I just don't know where she been. Like I was very excited about her, but I just don't know where she been. Like I ain't heard nothing.
But as far as like there being a ton of women spitters, like point them my way, because I can be wrong, but I don't see them. Like I mean, and this is coming from somebody that, and I feel like I can speak on this because this is what I do. Like I get email submissions. You know, I you know, everybody has access to submit music for free and for me to check it out. And we listened to some last Friday night, and the ones that we heard were kind of in the realm of popular, kind of trying to mimic what's going on with, you know, the popular women rappers right now, you know, like not like the City Girls or kind of what Meg's doing a little bit, and the Cardi B's, you know, that realm. Like most of the women rappers that I'm seeing aren't actually as polished as a lot of the men ones, but at the same time, there are a ton of men rappers out there. Like there are so many dudes that rap, like everybody raps. And so the amount of like
that aren't really polished,
the amount of really bad rappers that are men are really far. I think I get what she's saying. I don't think it's accurate. So
I think I'm more with Lone and saying, because I was with her on everything until she started talking about I guess there's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it as she may have had a point, or it also speaks to, you know, the level of, you know, some of the music, because she was like, well, you know, you can use Meg as an example, like in terms of rapping against some of the dudes that rap. And I'm like, okay, I like Meg Thee Stallion. I like her story. I like, you know, what she stands for. But from an elite rapper standpoint, to Lone's point, I don't know if I could just point to her and be like, yo, that's the one I want to use. Like maybe if she had used, you know, Cyrock or used Rhapsody or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But when she used Meg, I was like, I don't know if that's the move in terms of that argument.
And she's not Meg is not polished.
Even using Blueface and she's not. And even using Blueface as somebody that you want to kind of compare and contrast to, we don't fuck with Blueface.
Right.
What's the
even on a
last
pop level,
Blueface song you heard?
Yeah, like he, after that 𝗀𝗄𝘄 record was huge, I do know that, but I've always thought dude was a clown to begin with. Like there's plenty of, you know, women MCs that are light years ahead of dude, like by far. And I'm not talking about the elite ones. So I get that part. I'm kind of on more along the side of where Lone was going. See him like she's saying that maybe they are out there, and maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's what's popular versus, I don't know if there's even an underground exists even more with the internet, but I don't know. There's levels, always been levels to it, but I think I'm more along on the side with Lone on this one in terms of, you know, the abundance that she's speaking about. I don't know if I'd necessarily see that. Respect her opinion. I think she's a dope artist. I'm a fan. Like anything she put out, I'm gonna check for it. But interesting conversation.
She's dope.
She's dope. Like I rock with her. Like whatever she put out, I'm gonna check for it. But the Blueface, obviously, like Terry said, why even mention him? Like that's the headline. That's what got the, you know, that's what
she was just trying to get these jokes off.
Yeah, she got him off on using him, and I think what she said was accurate. Like, but I see where she was going to get the joke off in the midst of having. I
even remember when people were trying to compare folks messing with 6ix9ine over Blueface, and it kind of was like 6ix9ine is making way more ripples in the water than Blueface. Why are we having this conversation? Because one's a blood, one's a Crip. Is that why we're doing this? Because he didn't gain nowhere near as much steam as 6ix9ine did. And I mean, at the end of the day, they both whacked, but 6ix9ine definitely was making the needle move a lot more than Blueface. So there was no real conversation about that.
I feel you. I'm never opposed to this conversation. I'm glad, she had people going back and forth and she was able to voice her opinion. I'm just,
When
I'm
she
kind of, like I
says-
said,
when she says that the women in hip hop are light years ahead of the men when it comes to technical skill, she lost me at that point.
yeah,
that's just
she
wrong.
lost me on that
that's
one.
terrible.
Yeah, that one right there.
Where did
she
she get
lost
that
me on that
from?
one. That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if
got
she's
to pull
listening
back
to
on
you,
that one.
that's how you mess up.
Yeah,
That's how you mess up your whole point.
Yeah, because she was
That's how you
cooking
mess
now.
up your whole point by making a statement like that and then saying that.
Yeah, like she was cooking, but when if I'm gonna be fair and be consistent and be honest, I got to pull back on that one because I do not see that. But that's her opinion. I respect it, but I'm gonna have to disagree on that one. Shout out to her overall just for the conversation and being a dope artist. And if y'all haven't checked her out, please check her out because she is nice with it.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. And we invite you to join our hip hop community on Discord. Access it by going to newoldheads.com/community for talks on hip hop, sports, music, news, and everything else.